Hi, this is Ant, and today we're doing part 3 on the series of Passover, and the topic today is Rahab and the Scarlet Cord. Now you might recall that in Passover they left Egypt, they were out in the wilderness, and now they've come to cross the river Jordan. And it says in the book of Joshua chapter 2, "Now Joshua the son of Nun sent out 2 men from Acacia Grove to spy secretly, saying, 'Go view the land, especially Jericho.' So they went and came to the house of a harlot named Rahab and lodged there." So Joshua has a meeting with 2 spies. They meet underneath the trees at Acacia Grove. Now he sends them out to spy on the city of Jericho. He wants to assess it. They want to attack it and they want it to fall. Now this is a type of the coming judgment, and as you notice with the story of Jericho, only a remnant come out of it. The same with Sodom and Gomorrah. You might recall that Abraham and Sarah had 3 visitors. One of them was the Lord and 2 of them were angels. Now they had a fellowship meal offering. They had the 3 loaves of bread, and of course at the end of that Jesus sent off the 2 men. The Lord sent off the 2 men to go and spy on the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. So both of these stories have a similar setting. They're talking about the coming judgment of the world, and in the case of Sodom and Gomorrah, only Lot and his 2 daughters escaped that judgment. 3 people. And now we come back to Rahab. Well, Rahab was a harlot. So you can probably say, why would the spies lodge in a house of a harlot? Well, it's very interesting because really this is a story about you and me. This is a story about the people who we call the Gentiles or the non-Jews. We were in harlotry to the world. We had the world's system, the world's gods, and all of those things that went along with it. And we weren't a part of the promises that Abraham had and that Israel had. So we were separate from that. But you know something? God has got a salvation plan. And what did he do? Well, he took these 2 spies, sent them into Jericho, and Rahab took them under her roof. Now the king was aware that she was hiding the spies, or that they were there, so he sent off military personnel to go to her door and said, "Hey, where are those men that came to you?" So she sent them on a wild goose chase. She sent them out, so they stuck out through the gate during the night. "Quick, pursue them down the road, you might catch them." So off they went, run away after she hid them on the roof. Now here's the moral of the story. At this point in the story, you have about what the 2 spies and her little conversation with them. So Rahab hid the 2 spies and helped them out. And it says in Joshua chapter 2, "And as soon as we heard these things, our hearts melted, neither did we remain any more courage in anyone because of you. For the Lord your God, he is God in heaven above and on earth beneath. Now therefore I beg you, swear to me by the Lord, since I have shown you kindness, that you will also show kindness to my father's house, and give me a true token, and spare my father, my mother, my brothers, my sisters, and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death." So the men answered her, "Our lives are for yours, if none of you tell this business of ours. And it shall be, when the Lord has given us the land, that we will deal kindly and truly with you." Then she let them down by a rope through the window, for her house was on the city wall. She dwelt on the wall. And she said to them, "Get to the mountain, lest the pursuers meet you. Hide there 3 days, until your pursuers have returned. Afterward you may go your way." So the men said to her, "We will be blameless of this oath of yours, which you have made us swear, unless when we come into the land you bind this line of scarlet cord in the window through which you let us down, and unless you bring your father, your mother, your brothers, and all your father's household to here your own home. So it shall be that whoever goes outside the doors of your house into the street, his blood will be on his own head, and we will be guiltless. And whoever is with you in the house, his blood shall be on our head if a hand is laid on him." So basically what the spies are saying here is that it's like Passover again. You might recall that in the night of Passover, they could not leave their house, and the only way to be safe was that the blood was on the doorposts and the lintel. Well, it's the same here. On her window, she had to put the scarlet, the red cord in the window, and that was her protection. That was like in the Passover. If she did that, if they stayed in the house and they did not leave, then the plague, the death, or the judgment that was coming upon Jericho would not touch them. Their part of the wall was safe. Their household was safe, and they were safe from being attacked from the enemy. And you know something interesting about Rahab? She became a citizen of Israel, and more than that, she became somebody who married into the tribes of Israel, and one of her descendants was Boaz, and Boaz was the one who married Ruth, also a Gentile. So there is a salvation story that goes through all of this. And what we do is, in our household, we have a scarlet cord, and we put this over the doorpost and over the lintel of our front door at Passover time. It reminds us of something. It reminds us that we were Gentiles, we were cut off from the covenant, we were in harlotry, we were in the world, but then, you know, through Christ, through his blood, we were brought through near to him, and like Rahab, we now participate and are part of the covenant that he has for us. And I got the girls to plait this. It's got 3 cords in it, and so that to me represents unity of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It can also represent the 3 days of his death, of his blood being shed, and that is what has redeemed us. Well, that's the story of Rahab the harlot, and yes, it does have a connection with Passover, and it's also got a story about us and our being saved from the coming judgment. Well, that's it from me now. God bless, and bye for now.